like this. Don't like. I'm more used to Zoom, so let's see.
There is a slideshow at the.
Yeah, I'm doing this, but for some reason, I don't think I'm. So you see my internal slides, but I want to show the actual slideshow, but I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Let's see. I have to try to do it.
But the speed is more appropriate in this way.
But okay. Yeah, I need to get it going. How do I?
Oh, I even see my student. Only one. She disappeared.
I thought I figured this out, but okay. You don't see my slideshow, right? Right now.
No.
Okay. So let me try again. It's called. I don't know what am I doing wrong. So I'm trying to share the presentation.
Щось пішло не так.
Швидше робіть фото з тими, хто є, бо у мене нема світла, я на пташиних правах. Тому як тільки збереться хоч 5 людей, бігом робіть фотку.
А головне доповідач з презентації.
Бажано, щоб доповідач теж брав участь.
Робіть, пані Анастасія, пані Євгенія, робіть презентацію, бо я буду запускати, випускати, щоб я на це не... Анастасія Миколаївна, наш вірний фотограф, вибуває перманентно з нашого ладу.
Якщо що, можна відразу Маргариті відправляти в Viber.
Кидайте мені в Viber мій, а потім будемо вибирати.
Ну, я нічого не зможу зробити, бо в мене, знову ж таки, з екрану... Да.
Що це, вієнне відключення у вас, чи як?
Да, по 4 години на день стабільно вимикають і не за графіком.
Не за графіком, да. Треба завжди бути зарядженим, да?
Так.
Отримує новий сенс. Слово. Де ж студенти?
Доброго дня.
Добре. О, ура! У нас є студент. Це щастя.
Так,
О, ще є трошки. Приходять.
перепрошую, просто заплуталася, там нам
Ну, нема проблем.
нова викладачка і тепер...
Ні, це ж я вам оголошувала. Зараз я представлю. Це пані Гарварда у нас. Зараз буде лекція відкрита. Ви забули. Ну що, почнемо? Are you ready?
Yes, we can see, but we don't hear you.
Now we don't hear.
Напевно, треба зайти і так, щоб було чутно. Я не зрозуміла, Олена Юрійовна, мені треба сфотографувати, принтскрін
Так,
зробити?
періодично фотографуйте, а ми потім виставимо на наші месенджери.
Мгм.
Пані Анастасія, ви нас, Анна, ви нас чуєте? О, там у нього якийсь знак дивний.
Режим компаньйон якийсь.
Ага. Пані Анна, you hear us?
Я так розумію, що вдалося поширити презентацію, але вона сама не може під'єднатися нормально, так, щоб розмовляти.
I propose go out and come back again. It's work in some in some moment. Так. Анна не застила?
Може в Zoom зайти?
Та як же в Zoom, є коли ми студенти за цим посиланням, і ми її оголошували.
Ага, є.
А мікрофон вимкнути.
Please put on the mic.
Turn on.
Please put on the mic.
Did you hear me?
Oh, yes. Now
I
we
was, okay, so now you see the presentation and I can start, right? Everything
Yeah.
works on your side.
Everything
Okay,
works.
great, wonderful. Okay. Sorry
One
for
word,
that.
I propose to introduce Anna Rakityanskaya. She is representative of Harvard University. She specializes in the Slavic and European studies, and maybe she add something else.
Okay, all right, well, first of all, hello everyone, and thank you so much for being here and for having me over. It's a great honor to me. I'm very glad to be here, and let me now talk a little bit about this project. So I've been, for the past 8 months, I've been part of this international volunteer initiative, SUCHO, which stands for Saving Ukrainian Cultural Heritage Online. It's a volunteer initiative, international in scope, which unites over 1,500 volunteers right now, and the mission of this project is to basically save Ukrainian digital heritage as much as we can by web archiving websites of Ukrainian cultural institutions, any of them, museums, libraries, theaters, houses of culture, whatever, schools, any cultural institutions. And so to prevent, a possible data loss. And one of the aspects, one of the sub-projects of this project is a collection of memes, of wartime memes. We became interested in it. We decided that it's a very interesting social media phenomenon, because the memes, of course, the war memes started pouring in massive quantities, as soon as the war started. So, and we realized that it is a very important piece, communication elements, and so we need to save them because they're very fragile. If you don't save them, they'll just get lost. They'll just, flow away. And so we decided that, and of course, it looks like in Ukraine, this is a pretty serious business, those memes. We know that there are several social media accounts that are specifically dedicated to memes, to wartime memes. I have some images here. So that the top row are all the Telegram channels for war memes, and then on the bottom, I have the Ukrainian meme, Ukrainian armed memes is an Instagram account, and then there's Ukrainian Memes Forces, which is a Twitter account. And of course, that even on the official level, even the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine sometimes shares a meme. So it is important. And so we started collecting those memes, and this is just a little text about why memes are important, because of course they are like the raw materials in the construction of the discourse in the society about the war. And so it is very important that those memes get preserved in some way. And so I started collecting them. It's a crowdsourcing, but I'll talk about this a little bit later, how we actually collect memes. But when we started this collection, for me as a curator, the first question was, what exactly are we collecting? What exactly are memes? Of course, a very general, a very popular, definition of a meme is it's something that's being shared widely. And it is true. Memes, of course, must be shared, and this is how they live. They live through sharing, through reproducing. But since we are getting so many of them, it was important to actually have the character to clearly define what a meme is. To define the characteristics, the genre characteristics of memes. And so for me, I defined the following characteristics of a meme. It has to be anonymous. It has to use some pre-existing image or text or idea. And pre-existing means borrowed or recycled, reproduced text, image, text, or idea. Then there has to be some modification or remix of that pre-existing image, text, or idea. And also a meme has to feature some humor. And humor here is understood very broadly. It doesn't mean it's a light-hearted humor. It can be a very tough, can be a very caustic, sarcastic, but it is a humor. Humor is a big element of that. And so what we see here is first sort of example of a visual meme. So this is a typical visual meme because it uses a pre-existing image, and we all know this is an image of arrested Medvedchuk. The modification or remix on this image is superimposition of the head of Elon Musk on the Medvedchuk's head. And what we get as a result, we get this, a sarcastic image of Elon Musk as Medvedchuk, which tells us clearly that Elon Musk is a collaborator, just like Medvedchuk. He's Putin's man. So let's look at another example of another type of meme. This is a verbal meme. Although there is no words present on this image, we clearly understand that the word that this meme is built on, is bavovna. We all understand. Anyone who knows Ukrainian language understands it because we see a large cotton flower here, cotton ball, and then we also see, and this is bavovna, and it raises above a beach landscape, which tells us that what we see here is the explosion in Crimea. And this is the example of the third type of meme, the meme that uses a pre-existing idea, that borrows an idea, and I call them mental meme. So in this case, the idea here is that Russia's industry is falling apart without because of the suppliers leaving it, and this is the image that we get. That idea basically gets illustrated by this image. This is a type of this is a mixed type of a meme, a combination meme. It mixes a visual meme and a verbal meme. So the visual meme that I see here is the photo of Putin sitting oddly. It is a visual template. It is a very odd photo, and it's being used a lot. There are many memes based on that photo. And the verbal meme here is the phrase "все идет по плану," like everything goes according to the plan, of course. And so these two borrowed elements combined with the image of with a wartime photo of a top of the destroyed Russian tank gives us a very clear idea that that nothing goes according to the plan, or the plan is terrible. And so let's look at some more examples of memes. So the visual memes. It's interesting that the wartime memes that we see sometimes use the existing visual template, and some of these templates are actually classical meme templates that were invented years ago. For example, this one is a distracted boyfriend template. That is what it's called, distracted boyfriend template. And here we see a whole cluster of memes, because memes, like mushrooms, they exist in clusters. If you see one, you have to look for some more. There will be other memes, and that's why it is a meme. And so this is a whole cluster, and we see different renditions of it, including the one where the boyfriend is actually missing because he went to war and was killed. And we see the garbage bag or the body bag instead of a boyfriend, and many other situations. Another take on another classical meme template is I think the template is called buffed or swole Dodge and Chimps. So Dodge is this huge dog, inflated dog, and then the small sitting one is Chimps. And so this meme is usually based on comparison of something strong and something weak, or something that presents itself as strong, but in fact is actually very, very small and miserable. And I heard that this meme was actually appeared first time in 2020. So it's a very, very, very well used meme. But then also we have new memes. We have new visual templates that appeared during the war and became very popular. For example, one of them is built on this photo, and other photos like this, sort of a screenshot from of Igor Konashenkov, who is the chief spokesperson of the Russian Ministry of Defense. This photo launched a whole series of memes that mock both Konashenkov and the Russian Ministry of Defense propaganda. And so this is, the gallery of those. And this is only a small part, of course, of what exists. There's a lot more of those around. Another cluster of, this time, verbal memes. So verbal memes, usually, the memes, the images that use verbal memes usually are very different. They don't use the same visual template. They always built on very different images. So here the verbal meme is specoperacja. Of course, this is how the Russian government calls that what they call the war. This is an euphemism for war. And so here we see book covers. We see memes that pretend to be book covers. This is an illustration for a history book. This is looks like an infographic to me. And this is even a label for a vinyl disc with a song «Хотят ли русские специальные военные операции». So it's a very creative way. I think the verbal meme illustrations are usually very done in a very creative way. Another verbal meme, the Vavovna, that we already touched upon. So there are a lot more memes that are based on this verbal meme. Again, there are different types of them. Like this one is a poster. So it's really a poster. Some poster template, some existing poster is used as a template, and some war photo and other kinds. Again, it's a very creative way of building a visual meme. Another verbal meme cluster, Chernobyevka, of course, and this is only a small portion of all the memes that have been created about Chernobyevka. And they all look different. That's what I like about verbal memes. A mental meme. So I think this is a mental meme because I haven't seen other memes built on this photograph. Maybe there are other photographs. I don't know. If there are other memes that are built on this photograph, this stops being a mental meme and becomes a visual meme. So I don't know, but if this is unique to me, the mental meme here is the sort of very close familial relationship between Zelensky and Ukraine in general and Boris Johnson. So there is sort of this very close relationship, and Johnson feels like a good uncle, so that's that idea of Johnson as an uncle. That idea is actually a meme that produces other memes here. This is another mental meme. Actually, I see two mental memes engaged here. So one of them is the Russian soldier in a body bag, or rather the body bag for the Russian instead of a Russian soldier. That we already mentioned that. And then another one is potato as a symbol of Belarus. And so we see two of those mental memes are linked here, and Belarus, make a choice. What do you want to be? Another mental meme cluster, again, it's a mental meme. So Putin, who organizes mobilization, Putin is behind the mobilization, and we see different visual templates used to express this one idea. First, we see the Putin's face superimposed actually in all three cases. In one case, it's a monument of motherland calls in Volgograd, and we have his face superimposed on the shawarma maker who cuts meat, and meat is I think it's a verbal meme, because in connection with Ukrainian war, when you say meat, мясо, we know it's a Russian soldier. And then on the right, we see again a classical poster, Motherland calls, and Putin's face is on it. So Motherland is actually Putin. Another mental meme cluster, the same one that's the same idea that I mentioned before, that the Russian industry is going to fall apart because all the suppliers are leaving. And so these are three very different ways of expressing basically the same idea. So on the left, we have some sort of stock photo of a weird vehicle that is actually now a car. And then in the middle, we have a photo. Again, it's a stock photo used as the template here. It's a very simple, technical detail and we are being told that this is how the Russian missile is now going to look like. And on the right, we have what looks like a screenshot from some TV show where the hosts are going to cheerfully tell us about how all that new technology is going to be replaced with a local one, which is going to be very simple, very simplistic. So when we talk, so again, there was a lot of memes. We are getting a lot of memes submitted to our collection, and there are a lot of images that go around that being shared widely through the internet in connection with the Ukraine war. And it's important to understand that not all of the images that are being shared widely are memes. There are some images that are not, and there are several types of those images, and I think it's important to mention them, to acknowledge them. So there is one type of images that is very, very popular. It's a Ukrainian soldier with some gentle, presented like a gentle soul, holding some cute animal. We have puppies, we have kitties, I've seen bunnies, and some other animals. It's very popular, but it's not a meme. We also have some artwork, original artwork by artists. We have cartoons. We have an artwork like this one, Ghost of Kiev. And although Ghost of Kiev is a meme, sort of a meme, but a meme image, but this artwork is not a meme, especially because it has a signature, author's signature at the bottom. Anything that has author's signature is not a meme, and it doesn't have any sort of modification on this idea, on this meme. So it's just an artwork. Another type is a screenshot of a joke, and those are being shared widely. But unless there is some, I don't know, some twist on it, some visual twist on it, I do not consider it a meme. It's just a joke, a verbal joke. And then lastly, there is one more type of viral images or types. Yes, it's a type of image. It's a dead Russian soldier. Those are being shared widely. And the one that I have here is a very, very, very mild version of it. There are many that are a lot more, a lot harsher. So neither of these images are memes, although they do exist, and I think I'd like to see a study maybe in the future that will explore this kind of sharing material. And now let me get to the subject of the actual SUCHO meme wall. So I'll try to share the screen. If you can't see my computer screen right now, because I'm looking at the SUCHO meme wall in a browser right now, please let me know if you can see it. But I think you can see. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Can you see the actual? Well, do you see the presentation, or do you? Oh, okay. I think I can do this. So now you should be looking at my computer screen. Yes, you're looking at the SUCHO wall. So this is an online gallery of all the SUCHO walls that are in our collection. And the address is very simple, memes.sucho.org. And right now, as of today, we have 10,028 memes here. And it is very, very long. It goes on and on and on, as you can see. So the earliest memes are on the bottom. The latest submitted memes are on the top. There are a lot of things you can do with this. You can sort those memes in the various ways. It's not obvious right away because this meme wall was built with the desire to be viewed on a mobile screen. For example, you can view it on your phone or iPad. And so the creators, the designers of this wall were trying to save space and put as little text on it as possible. So, but you need to know that there is this little funnel sign of image icon. You can click on it and more filters open. So you can filter the results by content, by person, by language, by country, and by template type. So let's look at the content. There is a lot of subjects. Content types are basically subjects of the memes. There are a lot of them, and the way they are presented here is that the more popular ones are on the top, and the ones that with the least popular ones are on the bottom. So we can see that the subjects that get the most memes are the more general subjects that have to do with more general topics of the war. The war progress, outcome, general, of course, is most popular one. Then Putin, Russian troops, Russia general, Russian propaganda and state media. Then these are the military assistance to Ukraine, Ukraine general, and so on and so forth. I think let's look at the persons now. We also have a lot of people mentioned here. Again, the people with more coverage are on the top. We can look at, of course, as you see, Putin leads here by a lot, then goes Zelensky, then Lukashenko. If we click on Lukashenko, we see all the memes that feature him or mention him, or that memes that point to him, like this one, for example, doesn't actually feature Lukashenko, but we all know that this is his words, so it's actually about Lukashenko. So when we look at the meme, and when we click at an individual meme, we have some metadata here on the bottom available about it. If we click on this little a triangle here, more information opens. So what the kind of metadata that we see here with every meme is, first of all, the text, the transcription of the text on the meme, then translation into English, the same thing, then content type, sort of the subject. In this case, it's actually a verbal meme, because I'm going to show you is a meme. It's a very productive meme. Lots of memes are built on it. And so the countries that are mentioned or implied here are Ukraine and Belarus. The language is Russian. The template type is a Soviet era film, and the people are Lukashenko. And we can look at the language. It looks pretty simple. It's our shortest tab, and not many languages here, but not a big variety. The country tab, there's Russia and Ukraine, of course, they lead. Then the next one again is Belarus. There are some other countries mentioned in the memes, in various connections. But let's look at the template type. The template type is, again, it's a very complex and a long list of features. So we can look at one of the template types, and the thing to remember about the template types is that there are template types of different kinds here. So some of them are very specific visual meme templates, like the distracted boyfriend that we discussed, or Konashenkov's breathing. But there are also some very general ones, like news photo or stock photo, or infographics. And these are actually those general categories actually are used for verbal memes and mental memes. So if you want to see more of those, you need to click here. So we can look at the infographics, for example. It's a type. It's not a singular, template. It's a type of a template. It's a genre within the meme genre. It looks like some infographic, some image that presents some supposedly scholarly information. And we see a great variety here. Some of them, this is interesting, like these two here. They're basically presenting the same meme in different languages. So we see it in English, the running Soviet or the running Russian soldier, and then we see it in Russian. It's the same meme, and that's the only kind, I think, of a repeated template that you can see in those general categories, in the verbal or mental meme categories, is the case when the meme is actually translated into a different language. But otherwise, they're very, very, very different. Now let me go back to my presentation. So let me get to share this. Aha, there it is. Okay. Okay, come back to my presentation. And now after that, now I want to talk a little bit about the form, the method. How do we collect those memes? So the memes are collected by crowdsourcing, which means anyone can contribute. And all you need to do is fill out this Google form. It's a very, very simple Google form. It's accessible to anyone. And let me actually look at that tab. I actually wanna share it. Okay, so I just want to share this form a little bit more. So what we ask to put here, so all that metadata that we saw on the SUCHO wall comes from this form. So we ask you to put the URL for the meme, where you found it exactly. It can be a link to an article or to a post on social media or a comment on social media. So that's the exact URL where it was found. Then the date when it was posted, not the date when you are sending it, but the date when it was posted. Then by the title, we mean the text on the meme, transcribed in the original language, and then translated into English. It's, if there is too much text, you can put it through Google Translate. Usually Google Translate does a decent job translating it, and then you can edit it if you want to. Meme content type, we have a long list here, a list of suggested titles of subjects. You can choose them, any one of them, and if you feel like you're not finding the right one, you can always add, say other, click on other, and add your own there. People and animals, yes, we do have two animals on this list. We have Patron the dog, and we also have Stepan the cat. Who also, both of them appeared on some memes, but otherwise it's different people who are mentioned on the memes. And again, if there's a person or an animal who's not mentioned there, click on other and add the name. Meme template type, choose one or add your own at the bottom. The country, again, you'll click on the country, you can click on all the countries that are mentioned. You can click more than one. Language, or NA if there is no text. And we have this question there for a special category because people keep sending those photos of soldiers with animals, and so if you want to send it, it's okay, but do click off that box so we can put it in a different place in our collection. Meme file name. So when you submit a meme, we ask you to first save it to your own files and then send us that file. And so first you put the file name here, and then you upload this file. It's a very easy file uploader. You just drag your file here, and once it's done, you click submit, and you're done. So that's how it's done. Pretty simple. So we are a couple words about crowdsourcing. The crowdsourcing works very well for this project, as we found out, and it works very well for two reasons: quantity and quality. Because there are so many memes exist, memes that specifically deal with the Ukrainian war. It's the more people we have working on it, the better chance we have of getting, a really balanced collection. And the quality, we find that, especially when dealing with memes, different people have different interests, and they visit different social media, and different people see different things on the web. And so the more people we have from various, waves of life, we have more different perspectives, and that enriches the collection, and that really brings the necessary balance to it. This is just a little, information about the sources of memes. I ran a little report on what our sources are as of today, and all this can change because the collection grows, and so we might this information might change, but as of today, it's like this: Twitter leads, and then goes Telegram, Contact, Facebook, Instagram, and some other sources. This is some information about languages. Again, a meme that exists in two language versions. The issues that we face with this collection is, again, the volume. This is something that I've already mentioned. There's a lot of memes, and of course we can't, aspire to collect all of them, especially because we do it manually. It's like collecting leaves, that are falling off the trees, but we do want to collect enough of memes that they become a representative collection of this phenomena. And so we want to make sure that we have sort of leaves of different trees. We want to have some linden leaves, some maple leaves, some birch leaves. So we want to have memes that represent different possible types of memes. The duplication, we were worrying about duplication when memes are submitted, but turns out this is not really a problem. And again, this probably has to do with the sheer number of memes. There are so many of them. Duplication is just not an issue at all. There's some extreme material that some memes contain. We do accept those memes. We just don't really share them on the wall, but we do collect them. And the content fading is an issue that I want to talk a little bit more about. This is a very important issue. So the memes do exist in a system. Each meme exists in a system that links it to the to context, to different references, and there are both sort of historical references and cultural references. So each meme points to some piece of reality, to some event, for example, when it comes to war. And also there is a visual reference, purely visual reference, that also sometimes needs understanding. So this is an example of a meme to me that is very, very likely to become obscure with time, because it is a very interesting and very funny meme if you know what the text is referring to. What is «Алётовля, я опоздаю, короче». So if you've seen, you need to have seen that eyewitness video of the, of Crimea bridge burning. But if you don't know it, it doesn't make sense why this, kind of those words whispered, it's basically a sexual situation, why there are goosebumps and, hair standing, why there is this excitement about this. So this meme the content, the meaning of this meme will fade if it is not linked to that context. Another meme that I think is also very can become, is already, I think, very obscure to some users. So why are all the watermelons here? There's a lot going on here. There are all the watermelons, and also this animal, this doggy person in a watermelon suit. Why? This is a meme that even visually needs explanations. So the watermelons, of course, is a sort of a verbal meme, right? Watermelons stand for, the victory in Kherson. It's the overtaking of Kherson that is imminent. But then there's another element, visual element here. This doggy. And this, I think, is even more obscure because the doggy, of course, represents the NAFO fellow. And the NAFO is a meme that exists mostly on Twitter. So the people who are using Twitter are very familiar with it, but those who do not, they don't know it. So this meme really needs a lot of explanation, a lot of explaining, a lot of context to go with it. And so I think the next task of our collection is also to provide content, to provide context for this, so that memes really do not become obscure, because we need, without the context, meme becomes just a strange picture, right? And so the next steps for our collection is collecting more memes, adding video memes. We are collecting video memes as of now. We just don't have a way to present them on the wall. But so this is our next step. We need to figure out how to demonstrate them. Processing harvested memes. We also experimented with harvesting memes, but these need manual curation, because we want to provide metadata with the memes, and that needs to be done needs to be done manually. It's a project. It's an extra project that we need to find a way to do it. We need people to help with that. And also we are trying to promote creating teaching and research tools with our collection, because we think that this collection is a great research and teaching tool, and it can really work for researchers. And thank you for listening to me. Again, here is that link for you. For if you are inclined to submit memes, please do this. We'd love to have memes. We'd love to have memes from you guys. And there's another meme for you to to end this. It's a meme about memes. I love memes about memes. The memes that are actually treating memes. And let me stop here and stop sharing my. I think I stopped sharing my.
Are you finished?
Now, right? Did I?
I ask audience to ask questions for our respective lectures, and I ask to ask them in two ways. First, you can up your hand in its usual in this kind of tools, and you can write it in chat, of course. And I ask Anastasia Gladko, she is my PhD student, I ask to help read the questions if she is listening. I wanted to meet first questions, but I can see questions from students, and of course, please, Anastasia, take it to read. Rules.
I see one hand.
Oh, okay.
From Nadia.
Yeah. I want to just add something that as soon as something happens during the war, Ukrainians create hundreds of memes in the first minutes. And usually I learn the most of news from memes, not from news. And like another fun fact, I took a picture of me holding 4 cigarettes in my mouth, and my friend compared me to a HIMARS. So therefore memes are very relevant to our lives now. Yeah, thank you. Really interesting mention.
Okay.
Need some notes. And about the questions, I dare to have it, and I have even several. The first questions, is it true? I understand you have collection, some archives like Telegram channels, and another one sites by the automatic way of collection, it is archivized, and the Meme collection is produced only by volunteer. Is I right in understanding this?
Yes.
How you can explain this differentiation? Is it enough for collection them? Or maybe some technical easy way to allow this kind of collection?
What do you mean? Do you mean the harvesting? Because so there's the two methods of collecting that I mentioned. So the first one is the manual, when you submit memes by Google form, and this is the primary method that we are using. The harvesting that I mentioned is something that we experimented with. This is done purely automatic, it's a sort of robotic collecting. We have done that, yes. So we've tried to just automatically harvest memes of the several Ukrainian, meme accounts, and it worked. We got a great number of memes this way. It's just that they're just a collection of memes. So we have a file with many memes, but they're not. They don't have any metadata with them. So we just don't know what, we're trying to maybe conduct a project when people will actually add metadata to those, because they need to be described. It's just a raw data right now. We need them to be described in some way. So, yeah.
Thank you. And my second question is about the way of classification and cultural, maybe not a cultural approach. At first, do you use some database approach to analysis, or maybe even cultural analysis, as Lev Manovich formulate his way to classify some this kind of computer data, and maybe you can say something else for this way of classification, and maybe the special issues. What I want to know, it's about how you can differentiate your some putting in linguistic form of your analysis, and some computer tools which you used, of course, in this way, and maybe some changing between these two parts of classification, this kind of data.
We didn't use any computer tools to do the classification. It's really just done, as the material comes, because we started back in April, we started with a few memes, and then they kept coming in. So we just basically still collecting the material. And I do not exclude the possibility of revising, this whole system later. What we're trying to do right now is just to, to record some information about these memes, because the more we get of them, the difficult it will be to go back and describe them. So we're just trying to describe them in some way. I wanted to mention an article that I read just yesterday, a work, maybe you know about this. Let me get that link. Actually, it's a Ukrainian research about memes. Oh, it's from texty.org. You know, it's a data mining engineering. Let me put it in the chat. I can put the link. Oh, it's not a link. I want to put a link in the chat. Here it is. Can you see it? It's actually, this is actually, I don't know if you've seen that article, but this one actually is very interesting, and it's a very different approach to memes. So they did harvesting, and this is a purely data work. They harvested, I think, 43,000 of memes, and they actually processed them, you know, by digital means, by computer, and they, you know, so it's a completely different way of approaching this. What we do is more, you know, a curated approach. So it's, you know, the sort of manual sort of work. So that's what we do.
I see they try to correlate between some real event and some burst of memes.
Yes. No, it's a very interesting work. Yes, I think it's a very interesting work. But of course, they only used Ukrainian sources, and I should have mentioned that that we collect memes from anywhere, because we have an international group of, you know, volunteers. So people are sending memes from anywhere in the world. The only condition, the only, you know, scope limitation that we have is that the memes need to be pro-Ukrainian and anti-war. You know, even they might come even from Russia, but they have to be pro-Ukrainian. So that's so our scope is a little wider than that research, but also it's a different method. We're doing basically a curated collection, manual curated collection, but it's just a different approach.
Thanks. Any other questions?
I have a question. I'm sorry. This is just a small one. You just mentioned, that there can be, these memes can be gathered from different countries and including Russia, because I've noticed that really lots of memes that you've shown are really Russian. I don't know even how I can feel it somehow, because they are self-critical. They have these self-critical characteristics, as it's not just Ukrainians criticize Russian mobilization or all this, but it's just how they themselves think about their mobilization and war and Putin. So this is very specific vibe from these memes. So this is also a part of your collection. And do you mention that these memes are made by Russian residents? Because maybe I guess it's also important yet to create this geography, to mention how Russians think critically about it, and these Russians do exist, and these Russians, they do not make a revolt, they do not suppress it, but they reflect on it somehow. Because I guess it's still important. And of course, Ukrainian position, which is more obvious, and thank you.
Yes, you know, it's a very good point, a very good question. We do not know where the memes are made, actually, because, you know, there are some, we can sort of suppose, but we don't really know it, you know, because memes come from nowhere, we think, and most of them at least. And, you know, we see some memes that are made, you know, in several language versions, and we can suppose that maybe Ukrainian meme makers also translate their memes into English to appeal, you know, to bring them to the, you know, Western audiences. We don't know. And for the purposes of this collection, you know, we are just, you know, just archivists. We don't really go into that, but we hope that researchers will do this work. You know, they will work with this collection and they will figure this out, because, you know, we don't really know. But yeah, we just go with whatever our volunteers send us. And actually, I would love to see more memes coming from Ukraine. I think, honestly, we haven't had many Ukrainians supplying those memes. Maybe because Ukrainians have other things, to do, better things to do than,
Unfortunately.
volunteering and sending memes. But it would be great to have them. I think, this is something that could definitely be improved. Yes.
Thank you.
Also,
Maria.
I have a question. I joined the meeting later. Maybe you have mentioned, and I didn't hear it. You said about the volunteering activity and about volunteering contribution to this project and your volunteering activity here. But who gives resources, who give platform and any financial support for such kind of great activity, really?
Yeah. So there are organizations that are working with SUCHO, that are helping it. For example, Amazon gives a lot of support to SUCHO. I'll give you a link. There is a lot of information about this. Okay, SUCHO.org. So it's the link is very simple. Actually, it's just SUCHO.org. Yeah, and it has there's a lot of information about it. I think partners, yes. So it has this page, partners, which lists all the organizations, all the it lists sponsors and cooperation partners. So who work with that? You see Amazon, you see Europeana, and other organizations. So yeah. There are a lot of helpers there. Yeah.
There is no any more questions.
I want to ask about TikTok video. And what characteristics should a video have to be considered a meme? As a picture or another one?
I haven't really worked with videos a lot. I've seen many, but I would suppose that it's probably the same, the same criteria. It has to be to be based on some existing or pre-existing video or idea, or a meme, and transform it in some way, modify it in some way. I don't know. I've seen a lot of. For example, those videos with connected to the meme. Я вам сейчас покажу. What Lukashenko says. We see different. We see sometimes like his Lukashenko's body cut out and added to some different situations. Maybe some cartoon or characters or some film, or sometimes, I've seen the video that there is, for example, a scene from 17 мгновений весны when Stirlitz is hitting that guy with a bottle on the head, and in this case he's hitting Lukashenko on the head. So it has to be something pre-existing mixed with something else. So but let's not any doubts stop you. If you think it's a meme, send it in. Just send it in. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Thank you. And I have a few tasks. The first, my colleague asked me to ask you about allowing to put our recording in our Cathedral YouTube channel. If you allow us, can we locate?
Yes. Yes, please
Yeah,
do
thank
this.
you. Everybody here. And the next, I mentioned that this open lectures in the border of my course Visual Anthropology, and the life propose us some tools and some new aims, and I propose students as some task for the ending of our course to do some representation with analysis with the tools what proposed Anna for us, and maybe another way for analyzation. I wait some results in teaching and steps what you proposed for us. Yes, we do, and maybe you can want to add something in this teaching task. For my students.
That would be, yeah. Oh, that would be great, actually. Yeah. I'd love to see, some work done with the collection, because as I mentioned, we want the collection to work. So I can propose, maybe that the content work, or if you want to do something with that, because as I said, memes, not they don't just disappear. The content, even if we save a meme, that it might become incomprehensible with time. So we want to save that, we want to preserve that. So if you want to do some work with that, or if you want to maybe work even with the harvested memes, but I don't know, maybe it's not that interesting for you. I think more interesting would be probably working on the content of the memes. And if you want to we're not, as I mentioned, as we found out, we're not really doing research with that. We are waiting for researchers to come and do some research. So if you want to maybe, I don't know, suggest some different classification, or work on that, or, apply some methods to it, that would be great. Yeah, anything you can think of.
I propose my students to concentrate on the some changing of signifiers, and took some series of memes, and to analyze some position of changing significance in there, and they can talk this amount of memes as a series, explanation to grounded this topic.
Excellent.
Thank you very much. If everybody to have questions, stop in this. I propose to end it. Thank you very much, Anna. We hope to collaborate in the future with you. And of course, we wait from you some writing forms of you. And we want to send you recording. It's maybe healthy in taking deals with materials. For me, it's always helping things in organizing my right text. And thank you very much for everybody who participate in our lectures. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.